billions of stars shimmer in the endless canvas of space. And yet, only one tiny blue planet held the secret spark: life. Life that crawled, crept, swam, and soared, changing shape, adapting, evolving. Over time, this spark became a flame of curiosity. And from that flame, something remarkable emerged. A creature that would one day ask, where did we come from? We didn't come from monkeys, but millions of years ago, deep in the forests of ancient Earth, we shared a distant ancestor with them. The branches of life split. Some led to monkeys, leaping from tree to tree. Others to apes, learning to use simple tools. And one branch, quiet, unnoticed, led to something new. Something that would one day tell this very story. That branch leads us to KOLO. KOLO was no inventor, no thinker, but one day in the quiet of the forest, he did something extraordinary. He stood. For a few seconds, 2 feet held the weight of curiosity. That moment, simple and uncelebrated, was the beginning of a journey that would span millions of years. Walking upright gave us hands to use, eyes to see far, and a future to chase. KOLO didn't know it, but he had started something irreversible. As generations passed, new minds were born, and among them was ZARA. ZARA lived in a world of survival. Every day was a dance between predator and prey. But one day, she took 2 stones and struck them together. A shard broke off, sharp, jagged. With it, she cut meat, carved wood, shaped survival itself. Others watched and learned. ZARA didn't just survive, she taught. The first tools weren't just inventions, they were a language all their own. Our tools helped us hunt, but we still needed shelter. We used what we could: caves, trees, rock overhangs. We wrapped ourselves in animal hides tied with vines and bone. Clothes were not for fashion, but protection. As our minds grew, so did our homes. From leaf-covered huts to bone-framed tents we built, and we stayed. And as we stayed, we found fire. TOMO lived in a dangerous world. When the sun set, the world turned cold and frightening. But then a spark. Maybe from lightning, maybe from stone. TOMO fed it with twigs, then branches. It grew, it warmed, it protected. And around that fire, people gathered. They cooked, they shared, they laughed. The first communities were born, not in buildings, but in circles of light. And then came the stories. LINA couldn't write. She had no books, no ink, no alphabet, but she had caves and color. She crushed berries, charcoal, clay. With her fingers, she painted animals, hunts, spirits. She painted hands, her own and those of the children beside her. She turned memory into marks. She turned the wall into a mirror. And in doing so, she became our first storyteller. Those pictures grew into symbols, symbols into words, words into written language. We carved in stone, scratched in clay, painted on walls. From cuneiform tablets to papyrus scrolls to printed books and glowing screens, our voices traveled farther and faster than ever before. Every letter you read today traces its roots back to hands like Lina's. As stories grew, so did the need to stay in one place. And Maya answered that call. Maya planted seeds in soft earth. She returned day after day, watering, watching, waiting. She learned the seasons, the sun, the soil. Her crops fed families, her hands fed civilizations. Villages formed, walls were built, trade began, and with every harvest, humanity rooted itself deeper in the land. But we didn't stop moving. We walked out of Africa, across deserts, through mountains, over ice bridges. We faced the cold, the hunger, the unknown, and with each step we adapted. Skin changed, language evolved, clothing transformed. The world shaped us, and we shaped the world. And yet, we never stopped trying to talk to one another. We banged drums that echoed across forests. We sent smoke signals into blue skies. We whispered through scrolls, cried out in letters, and eventually called through wires. Now, a child in one part of the world can video call another across an ocean. And still, our message is the same. Can you hear me? Our tools became machines. The wheel turned into the wagon gave rise to the airplane, and the airplane became a rocket. We built telescopes to look deeper into the stars, factories to shape the world with fire and metal, and we sent astronauts beyond our skies. We no longer asked just, how do we survive? We began to ask, what can we become? And now, here stands AYAN. He is a child of stars and circuits, of stories and science. He wears the sky on his sleeve and wonder in his eyes. He walks through holograms of KOLO, ZARA, TOMO, LINA, and Maya. Their spirits stitched into his very being. He looks up at the night sky and knows that he is not the end of the story. He is the next chapter. We may speak in many languages. We may wear different clothes and live in distant lands, but we are all part of one long journey, one ancient story, one planet. And that story continues with you. Because we are not just made of DNA. We are made of footsteps, of sparks, of stories, of stars.